Hello and welcome back to my karting channel. As you can see from the title and thumbnail, this isn't exactly a members event that I'd like to look back on really. I'll explain more later on into the video as and when it pops up really, but this video will include Heat 1, Heat 2, Heat 3 of what happened in Heat 3, you'll see that in a bit, and then the grand final. This was Grid Series round 4, and yeah, it was just a total shambles from the start, really. Like I said, I'll explain more in detail as and when things pop up, but this is the start of Heat 1. I'm starting near the back, and I think there was a total of 17 drivers, and I was in like 12th, 13th, somewhere around then. So, as you can see, on the grid now, I can hardly see the lights. I just have to see when other people really go. But I'm leaning on my kart to try and see if I can actually see the lights. As you can see in the distance, they start to come on, and they're actually quite quick lights. This ones, they went quite quick. Good reaction times from me. I get a good start, get one kart on the inside. Absolute shambles into turn 1 with some karts just not pressing the brake pedal, getting no room, and kart 52 just goes into the back of, I'm not sure what kart it was, but he just goes completely into the back of him. I'm just keeping my nose out really, don't want to get myself into trouble, getting any penalties. Mistakes made from the driver on the inside there, and ooh, a bit of contact, but everyone comes out of it unscathed. I'm trying to get the weight advantage on kart 59, doesn't work. I go for the inside, nice little dive bomb. I'm so far up one place. Use a bit of human DRS along this straight here just to try and catch up, as I've lost a bit of time to the driver ahead, which is Tom Roberts. He is quite a quick driver around Liverpool, does well most weeks, and you can just see the carnage unfolding ahead of me. Going into turn 1, Tom Roberts tries to make the move. He goes around the outside, but he gets squashed into the barrier by kart 47 in the TeamSport suit. He makes a bit of a risky dive bomb, and it's just contact galore again. I get attacked from behind, defend him off, and I just hold my position in the middle of the track. Going down the main straight here, well, not the main straight, the back straight, I've now lost quite a lot of time to Tom Roberts ahead, and my aim here is just to get this driver. He makes a massive mistake into the hairpin, but he's just got that advantage on me. He must have a kart advantage. He goes very wide to the rear. I get a better exit out of the double right and down the down ramp into this left right. He goes very deep and I make the move. So I'm not sure what position this puts me in. I think it's around P11, P11, P10, somewhere around then. Get dive bombed by Johnny Pinder. Fair enough, I didn't see him coming. I left the door wide open. Nothing wrong with that move. So I've obviously lost a position there now, and I'm in net P11, I'm just going to guess. Fast forward a few laps. Johnny Pinder, I've now caught up a little bit back onto the back of these two. We've got Ronnie Stedman ahead of me in kart 35, I think that is, and then Johnny just ahead. So Johnny must have got past Ronnie as well, and my aim now is just to try and get Ronnie. He's not in my weight category, but in these heats they were from points from everyone, so I just needed to get as many points as possible by obviously getting as many places as possible. So Ronnie goes, good entry into that one. He's all over the back of Johnny, and I'm just following through to see if any mistakes are made, just so I can capitalise on them really. Johnny goes for a dive bomb into the hairpin, leaves that driver stranded, and that's the mistakes I was on about. Whether it's a mistake or an accident or anything, it's not my problem. I'm just there to make overtakes. So I am in, I can't even guess the position I'm in at this point in the race. I've got no clue. It's top 10 at least. So you can see Ronnie's clearly got quite a bit of pace on Johnny. He's trying to stick his nose in. show that he's there really, and I'm just following him behind Ronnie because, well, I know that he can make that overtake, but I don't want to leave it too long in order for me to obviously lose out on points. Fast forward half a lap, I am now all over the back of Ronnie, just trying to get that speed on the straight. I look for the dive bomb, I get it done, and that was quite a nice clean move from me. He left me room, from Ronnie did, so fair plays to him. And now my focus is just trying to catch up to the driver ahead, which I know I'm capable of doing. On to the final lap now. I've caught up to him, but I've not managed to get the overtake done as of yet. So into the hairpin, he goes very deep. I try and get the better exit, but he's just got the exit on me. He used a bit of human DRS. I see the gap on the inside, but I have to back out because the gap wasn't there. He gives me a little nod, not sure why that was, but yeah, no contact was made. He goes very wide, I go up the inside, he squeezes me into the barrier. I put my hand up, obviously, because I feel like he could have left me a bit more room there, but, you know, if I was 50-50, you'd have to obviously go frame by frame. But that was me. I finished in P8. So yeah, it was an alright race from where I started, back near the back of the grid. So yeah, we go straight back out into Heat 2. So I will fast forward to the grid. So this is Heat 2 now. We can see the marshal there just going up, and the second marshal there going into the little hole bit area underneath the ramp, and that signals obviously the start of the race. So they obviously press the button on the little device they've got, start lights go red to green, you'll see them come on in a second. There's the lights. Kart P number 2, which is a little jump start, but we're going to just go past that. I get a good start, gain a position off the start, so I'm in P3, and my aim now is just to try and get past this kart ahead of me, as I know he's a different weight category to me, so I need to just obviously gain as many positions as I can, as they're crucial in order where I finish in where I start, sorry, in the final race. He goes defensive, I try and get the switch back on him, it's successful, but little do I know the yellow light's there, so I have to back out of it. I didn't see it on the way onto the up ramp, so yeah, I try and get the better of him, but our kart stayed in speed 3 for a second, so I got a bit of a poor exit. Now going down the down ramp, you can clearly see I've got so much more speed than him. I try the switch back, I go a little bit wide into him, so obviously I can't make the move. I look back behind me, see if there's anyone there. I'm not sure if there was, so I obviously start going to attack him. I go for the dive bomb, it's very good, and he just goes for a dive bomb as well, which is, yeah, that's how it works. But so I lose position there to Tom Roberts, try and get the switch back on him, get the speed through the corner, but obviously I have to yield the position, as it would have ended up in a crash. So I'm back in P4. I try and look for the move down the outside past Tom, but he covers that off, goes for the move on the car ahead of me, and gets it done. He gets a bit aggressive, tries to spin Tom out. I then go down the inside, he then goes into Tom, leaves me absolutely no room, and yeah, this is pretty much the driving standards that TeamSport Liverpool summed up. I then just followed behind, seeing if any mistakes are made. He's all over Tom in the kart ahead in the purple helmet. So yeah, I'm just following behind, just watching, see if anything unfolds. Tom's now got a gap on him, and I'm all over the bumper. He goes defensive, so I go onto the outside, try and get the switch back done. Can't get it done. He goes defensive into the next corner. Got the speed, I go round the outside, I get shoved out the way, switch back, side by side, down the down ramp. I make the corner, 50-50, so I have to give him space, and he just shoves me into a barrier. Not sure why. When I gave him the room into the turn, he gave me no room on the exit. And yeah, I tried to turn for the corner, and someone's just on my inside and has just T-boned me into the other guy. So the guy that I spun into the barrier, I'm sorry, but I couldn't do anything about it. I tried to brake, I tried to do anything I could to avoid an accident, but yeah, I got T-boned by someone on my left. So yeah, I think I got a warning there. I'm not sure why when I got T-boned. So yeah, I took it on the chin and I carried on racing. So now, as you can see ahead, I've got Ronnie Steadman, and I know he's got pace in him. So I sat back and tried to see if he could gain any positions. And yeah, I'll fast forward to when a bit of action happens. A few laps later now, and as you can see ahead, Ronnie in the white helmet's now made himself past these drivers. They're going wheel to wheel into turn one. Guy in the red suit goes for the move, and I get T-boned again out of nowhere. Yeah, he's obviously made the very silly dive bomb on me. He's obviously let me gain, obviously, the position back, which was mine. He goes for it again, but at the end of the day, I'm at the apex, and he's going for stupid moves on me. So it's not my, obviously, I'm not going to give him the place back because it's my position. I go for the dive bomb again and make it work. He's on my tail, but I know I've got the speed on him, and yeah. So heads down now to try and catch up to the driver ahead. So we've got Kian now ahead of us, and I've obviously caught up quite a bit to him in the last few laps. I fast forwarded, I think, 2 laps. We had quite a few good battles, and yeah, it was quite fun. And this is obviously the last lap. The lights go yellow, and he lets me past as he knows I'm in for the fight for the championship. Obviously, it's grid series, so he wants me to just try and do as well as I could. And I thanked him afterwards. He told me that he let me past on purpose. Give him a little fist bump, and yeah. So fair plays to him, thanks to him, and onto heat 3. So we're on the grid now, ready for heat 3, and I think I'm starting around 3 places from the back. I'm not sure exactly what position I'm in, as this was a few days ago, I can't really remember. So you can see the marshal there just going up towards his little bay bit where he stands, and you'll see the red lights go green in just a few seconds. There's the red lights. They go green, I get an okay start, and I try and go round the outside, which is on the inside, but I just got spun round, and I couldn't do anything about it. So yeah, I'm now dead last by about 20-30 seconds because, well, I'm stuck in a barrier. I get out the barrier and I just think, no, I'm fed up. It's a boiling hot evening. I'm in a very thick suit. You can see all the drivers there going along the straight. What am I going to do? Yeah, so I just come in to the pit lane and retire the car. I come out and just have a little bit of a rest because I was fed up, really. I couldn't be bothered racing. There was no point in racing as it meant nothing. I wasn't going to gain any positions because the race is only 10 minutes anyway, and there's no one ahead of me. I can't see anyone. They're all miles ahead of me. So I come in and just finish there. So we're on the grid now for the final race. I'm starting near the middle of the pack, and after the heat 3, which I obviously didn't race in, everyone got called into the briefing room, obviously, and that doesn't usually happen really, and it was because of the driving standards. They were that poor, they had to have a meeting about how poor the driving standards were. They said that they couldn't keep up with the radio, there were that many incidents coming in, which is, yeah, you can visibly see that from the racing. It's poor racing. You've got people like this guy in the yellow suit just barging his way through. Karting's a no contact sport at the end of the day. You're not meant to be just barging your way through. Like, you can obviously make a little bit of contact here and there, but if you're just making contact like that, it's just spoiling the fun for everyone else. Like, if you're not an experienced karter, like, I've just made a dive bomb with absolutely no contact. That's what you call a good overtake. When you make contact, it just ruins it for everyone, because it just makes it an unenjoyable experience, really. As there are people like me who are going there for the competition, who want to win. I want to win. I love winning. It's a great feeling. But when you've got people spinning you out, just slowing you down, just basically being an idiot on the track, it's just not good. It's like I'm paying my money, and okay, they're paying their money to be there, but should they really be there? Because Grid Series is an elite event. When you look on the TeamSport website, which I'll pop up on the screen now, it says elite, and I feel like in order to get an elite license, you should be able to like pass the license for, say, because there's different memberships. You've got club, I think there's one more, and you've got elite. I pay for the elite memberships. That grants me access to all of the races, whereas for example, club only gets you access to a few of them, and elite costs a bit more money. So I'm paying the £34.99 a year for good competitive racing, and on the TeamSport website it says these races are for competition. Like, you have to be getting good lap times, and you have to be getting you have to be a good racer. Half of this grid today do not check that box, because the lap times, okay, some people might not be as fast as others. I get quite quick lap times around TeamSport Liverpool because I'm quite experienced. And okay, I know you need to get a good way, you obviously need the way into karting, and I'm not saying that should be stopped fully, but you should be able to enjoy your members' events with good racing, and with yellow flags and red flags here, there and everywhere, and briefings about how the contact is that bad, and the rules are just being broken. Because I'm going I'm going more than walking pace here, and everyone ahead of me, they're just flying away. I'm obviously signaling to the marshals here, like, hang on a second, they're going way too quick, and it's just a waste of money and time, really. So yeah, that's my rant over about how people shouldn't be allowed some certain memberships. And you've got the marshal on the track there, so obviously they're going incredibly fast, and he's putting his life at risk. He's trying to run the event, and obviously someone's spun or someone's been put into a barrier, and he's on the track, obviously putting himself at danger to make the race quicker for everyone else. And if they're going on the track like incredibly fast, like race pace, he could be run over and injured. It's just dangerous. So yeah, I just don't understand how it can run like this, because I was bumper to bumper with that yellow car and everyone ahead of me, and you can see the gap's at least 2 seconds now. So yeah, that's my first rant over, and now on to obviously the more important issue in terms of, well, Grid Series as a whole from TeamSport Liverpool's perspective this year. So this year they introduced drop rounds, so there'll be 6 rounds, as you can see on the screen, with 2 drop rounds. So it's 6 months, and 2 of the months, obviously because it's every month Grid Series, 2 of those months you don't have to go. So for example, you could be busy, or it could be just you go to all 6 rounds and you perform particularly badly on 2 of them. Those 2 are then dropped, because that's just something that's in karting. It's in quite a lot of karting. I do an outdoor championship, like you might have seen on my I'm currently in the middle of doing that, and I've used both my drop rounds for that outdoor karting championship now. So on to indoor now. The 2 drop rounds, I assumed, because there was absolutely no contact made of me or any of the other drivers, those 2 drop rounds I thought would have been used on round 1 and 2, because if you look on the Instagram page, which I've popped up on the screen now, it says Grid Series round 3, but it's cut off the 3 and says 1 after the lack of round 1 and 2, because people didn't book on. I booked on personally, but because there weren't enough people booked on, and this was quite common occurrence at the start of this year during January and February. Not many people were booking on, as you might have seen from the lack of my videos earlier on in the year. Those two weren't counted towards the championship. Then it says we have made this our first round of the mini championship. So I assumed from that the first 2 rounds were used as the drop rounds, hence why I went to every round since that. So there were 4 rounds since those 2 rounds didn't count, and I went to every single one as I thought I was at risk of potentially losing the championship, and so did another driver, because if you look at the driver in second, me and him both completed round 1, 2 and 3, as you can see from the screenshot. I then went into round 4, the final round, on 55 points. Jay Greenhuff went in on 54 points, and the driver in third, Bobby Kristovich, went in on 39 points, having not completed round 1, which was, in theory, round 3, as round 1 and 2 didn't count, because no one booked on, and they were cancelled by TeamSport. So that's why I completed rounds 1, 2 and 3. And as you can see from all the pop-ups that I'm popping up now, drop rounds were never mentioned on the Instagram page for TeamSport Liverpool for any of the rounds. Rounds 2, 3 or 4. Drop rounds were never mentioned. So this should have been made clear, obviously, before we were doing the rounds, because I wouldn't have wasted my time and money, like I've said previously. So as you can see on the screen, I went into round 4, the last round of Grid Series at TeamSport Liverpool, in first. I ended up in third because drop rounds were introduced on the day. I turned up and I asked if the driver in second was coming. I got told that he's not coming, so then I asked, so does that mean I'm confirmed champion? Because there was physically no chance of any other driver catching up to me. And that's when I was then let known of the drop rounds, which then put me at a bit of a worry, because then I knew that I had to perform incredibly well tonight in order to get the win for my lightweight category, even though it should have just been a landslide victory for me in terms of the drivers there on the night. From what I gathered, I should have finished on probably around 60 points, 60 to 70 points, in between that range, and the driver in second would have finished on 54, and the driver in third would have finished on around 40, 50. So I would have won by around 10 points to second and 20 points to third. But no, the drop rounds were introduced on the night, which, to be honest, I don't find very fair, because I don't see why it should be introduced on the night when I've worked hard, I've put the effort in, I've done all these overtakes, I've done my hardest, I've tried my hardest, and it's just gone all of a sudden. So yeah, it's massively disappointing, and yeah, it's just, I've gone there, I should have won and I didn't. So yeah, I can't really say much more. I've shown my evidence from my side of things, so you can think of it as of what you want. And yeah, so I'm probably going to end the video now, because nothing really happened in the race from here. I was just pretty annoyed. So thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and this will probably be my last video at TeamSport Liverpool for at least a while anyway, so bye bye.